All right, guys. So I was asked about a body recomp video or making a body recomp video. And as far as body recomp, that means being able to lose body fat and put on muscle mass at the same time, and whether or not it was possible. Yeah, of course it's possible, but there's several factors you have to take into consideration, especially when it comes to fitness and your bodies. I think there's this just huge misconception that everyone is on a level playing field, and it's not. It's just like saying, we're all not born the same height. We're not born with the same ability to retain memory. We're not born with the same capacity to process information. But when it comes to like working out, everyone seems to think we're all on the same field. It's like what works here works there. When you're calculating basic metabolic rates, you can have someone that weighs the exact same, has the exact same body mass composition, but their resting metabolic rates can be significantly different. Hormonal rates are significantly different. So all that aside, there's three main ways in which you can actually build muscle and lose fat simultaneously. The very first one being is if you are a beginner. If you are a beginner, you have to realize your body's fight or flight, thinking caveman days. It immediately starts to think, hey, all of a sudden all these stresses are on my body, and I need to survive. And it doesn't know whether these stresses are things that are trying to kill you or things you have to do to survive, like, hunt. So it will immediately begin to divert nutrients and it'll burn the necessary calories from certain places where it believes it's best for it to survive. So if you're consistently using your legs, it's thinking, hey, I'm running from something. I need to repair these legs, put in some extra muscle so that I'm a little faster, a little stronger the next time something chases me, or if I'm chasing something to try to eat it so that I can catch it the next time. So it will change body fat burning, body fat composition. Of course, the body doesn't like building muscle. That's one thing. The body does not like building muscle. It's extra calories it has to burn. You're fighting just the natural tendency of your body to say, hey, I want to conserve energy. Muscle burns energy. I don't want extra of it. So that's one of those factors you have to consider. There are some people that just look at weights and get bigger. They naturally have the type 2 muscle fibers. They have the myostatin in there that isn't being blocked. So they're able to go ahead and do that. They have the right hormonal balance. They have the right hormone receptors. They have the right insulin sensitivity. They are just, on par with everything that needs to be done. Some of us not. Some of us have to rely on other things. So beginners. If you're a beginner, it's very much possible. The key thing to that would be your diet, making sure that you're giving your body the correct nutrients it needs to go ahead and recover and build that muscle. And again, that one of the most important nutrients being high protein to go ahead and be able to build that muscle. Protein, again, burns more calories, causes a non-exercise activated thermogenesis, so you're burning more calories. So that would have been great, or it would be great for you. Other instances, if you're already muscular at one point, and let's say you're not as muscular now, and you kind of let yourself go a bit, if you started working out again, it's a lot easier for your body to go ahead and remember that set point. It has this thing called muscle memory. So you're going to be able, and don't quote me on that being an exact science, but most of us, it's a common, agreement that there is this thing called muscle memory, that you're going to be able to go ahead and get that size back rather quickly. And with the correct diet and everything, you're going to be able to go ahead and burn fat and get that back. And it's a perfect example of that is, what I did during my cut in December, where I went ahead and cut and I was able to build muscle. And that again comes from the fact that, at one point I was this big power lifter. Yes, I was very fat, but there was an amount of muscle there that, my body remembered having. So as I was cutting, I was able to go ahead and put on that muscle. And of course, nutrients, supplements all played a huge factor into that. If you look at, for example, another perfect example of being able to burn fat and build muscle would be Kim. Kim went from being chubby to being, thin, to being able to build muscle on caloric deficits, on a low carb diet. Again, we added the Moab to her diet. We added the double tap to her diet. High protein, of course. She takes the grunt during her workouts. So she's making sure she's getting the leucine to activate mTOR. She's making sure she's taking the grunt to prevent catabolism. She's getting the essential amino acids. She's taking the HMB. And again, things like Moab that has HMB in it, they will work, but you have to be at a point where you're pushing yourself to the point of overtraining. If you're just a weekend warrior, if you're just doing this, here and there, you're not going to be able to get that muscle growth. It's not going to work. It's a waste of money. But if you are like CrossFitting 5 days a week, if you're just, killing it, like I do cardio 1 hour in the morning, strength training an hour and a half in the afternoon, I take it twice a day. That is the situation where it will show its effects. It will definitely show its effects. Shows its effects in, people with sarcopenia, older people who are, muscle wasting, AIDS patients, situations where your body's just like, fuck, I can't help this. That's when it's going to kick in. If you're just not pushing yourself to that point, and I'm not saying go catch AIDS or get old, but I'm saying push yourself to the point of overtraining, not overtraining, the point of overtraining. That's when I really think a supplement like that would work. So when I was doing my cut, I was supplementing with Moab twice a day. I was supplementing with the double tap in the morning. I was supplementing with the Total War and the Big Noise pre-workout, and I was supplementing with Grunt during my workouts. Yes, I was taking a lot of Redcom products. No, I don't push every Redcom product. Those are the ones I believe in. The MRE Light, I love protein because of the taste. I like the Isotope too, even though it makes me a little gassy, but the chocolate mint Isotope, I just love the taste of that one. Or a little bloated, not gassy. It just makes me feel a little bloated. But there are a lot of Redcom products, and not a sales pitch. A lot of Redcom products I don't push. I don't push Big Noise, which is their test booster. I don't really think test boosters work. And if they do, it's just short term, 2 weeks. It's not long enough for it to show you any actual long term results. And then their Laxogenin product, I forget the name of it, because I don't push it. So there are products I don't push. I'm not just going to push every product. I push the products I use and I believe in, and there's science behind them. The third factor that would help would be if you're using performance-enhancing drugs. And that's, again, an area where you would have to dabble on your own. But, of course, you see that with bodybuilders and, entering bodybuilding competitions. But, again, not an area I'm going to dabble with if you want to look into that. But if you want to try this, because I did do a very good body recomp diet back in 1999, 98. I want to say 98. I was done by 99, but it was a year. And what I did is, I, of course, heartbroken, looked into diets, followed Dan Duquesne's Body Opus diet. And what it basically did was, it was carb manipulation for the most part. What you're doing is you're cutting out carbs Sunday. So let's see, our week starts on Sunday. Cutting out carbs Sunday. So low carbs Sunday up until Friday. Cutting out carbs Sunday. You can do, light walking or some walking on Sunday. Monday, you're going to do either your entire upper body or entire lower body, 1.5 to 2 hour workout. Entire thing. Try to go heavy weights, all right? Because you have glycogen in you. You're going to try to go heavy weights. That's a heavy day. Then Tuesday would be the upper or lower body. So if you did want a lower body on Monday, do upper body on Tuesday, the entire thing. So again, it's going to be a long workout. Wednesday and Thursday, you're going to do, I would call it like fast walking. I wouldn't jog, I wouldn't run, but you want to do some cardio. Then Friday, what you want to do is hopefully first thing in the morning, you're going to hit your entire body. You're going to work out your entire body. I'm talking high reps, drop sets, lighter weights. You are trying to deplete every last bit of glycogen. Because remember, even though you didn't eat carbs, your body through gluconeogenesis, creates glycogen out of proteins and even fats to go ahead and store in the muscle. So you're trying to get it to a 0. And once you've gotten it to a 0, right after that workout, you're going to go eat 100 grams of carbs with about 30 to 50 grams of protein. And every 3 hours, you're going to repeat 50 grams of protein, 30 to 50 grams of carbs, 50 grams of protein, 30 to 50 grams of carbs, all Friday, all Saturday. And I'm talking 7-8 meals a day. 7-8 meals a day. Like that, 7-8 meals a day, just like that, every 3 hours. So you're going to be constantly eating. And I'm not talking cheat meals, because remember, you're doing high protein Monday, Sunday through Friday, moderate fats, no carbs, okay? And then you're going to switch to high protein, high carbs, low fats. Not cheat days, not Fridays, not, and I mean Fridays by eating fries all day, not cheat days, not Fridays. But what you're doing is you're creating an environment where you've been under constant stress the whole week. You've depleted it, and now you're using hormone manipulation. You've destroyed your muscle fibers. You've damaged the muscle fibers Friday doing that whole body workout. Your body's like, holy shit, something just tried to kill me. I barely made it out. And then you're giving it all the nutrients it needs to go ahead and build and repair that muscle. And then it super compensates by loading extra glycogen into the muscles. And then you're ready again for your workouts Monday and Tuesday to lift heavy again. So you're having those really heavy lift days where you're prepared, where your body's, fully primed, and then the day where you're just depriving it and then preparing it again. And I did that over a year. Now, you're not going to lose a proportionate amount of fat compared to muscle. You're not going to lose a pound of muscle, a pound of fat, and gain a pound of muscle a week. You have to remember, limiting factor to building muscle on the highest end for a person, I want to say, let's say you're the most genetically gifted person, would be about 20 to 30 grams a day, maybe. So at most, maybe you could build a third to a half pound of muscle a week on the best genetic circumstances. Okay, so what you're probably going to look at is probably a pound or two fat loss and about a half pound, if you're lucky, of muscle gain. Pound or two of fat loss, half pound of muscle gain, pound or two of fat loss, half pound of muscle gain. Over the course of that. And over the course of the year, I went from being a very chubby power lifter to a very lean. I want to say I hit like 190. I was super light, super light, but I was strong. I could bench twice my body weight, almost triple my body weight on the deadlift. So I built quite a bit of muscle. I held on to a lot of the muscle I had. I wasn't as strong as I was when I started the diet, because I started the diet at about 260. But I was able to go ahead and I just add some muscle and then lose a bunch of body fat. So that is my best recommendation for that. Body Opus. It's by Dan Duquesne, however you want to reply, but it's called Body Opus. And then the other book you could use is The Anabolic Diet by Dr. Mauro Di Pasquale. And that one goes into it a little more in depth and detail. But they're basically the same thing. You're going to do the carb cycling. Other things you could do is just, the high protein. Like I said, it's worked for Kim. It works for me. Just a high protein, low carb diet, moderate fats. If you're giving your body food that is burning 4 calories, so you're eating more, you're giving it what it needs to repair, and at the same time you're moving your body to go ahead and burn fat, you're going to get the results you want. So it is possible. Would I be able to do something on a grand scale like that now at my level? No. I know genetically I've pretty much peaked. This is the biggest I will ever probably get. I would love to, I really wouldn't love to get bigger. I just want to get leaner and more solid physique. And by solid, I mean, I think I would just want a more solid look. And that's just, fine tuning a bit of my shoulders. And that's about it. I'm doing pretty good for my age. I'm also old, so I think age plays a huge role. I don't have the T levels that I once had. I don't have the recuperative abilities that I once had. The joints that I once had, and that's an important one, is having the joints to be able to lift and hoist the weight you need to cause the stimulation to go ahead and build that. And you don't need to lift the heaviest of weights to build muscle, but it doesn't hurt either. So if you have any questions, let me know. That's the best explanation I can give to you. The 3 factors is, yes, if you're a beginner, by all means, it will happen. Just, clean up your diet. High protein, lower the carbs. Again, to me, carbs, and you can argue left and right. There are experts that will tell you this. I am not claiming to be an expert in anything. Go, consult a medician, an apothecary. No, go consult a medical doctor so that they can give you everything, and a nutritionist. But, for the most part, based on my opinion, the best thing you can do is lower the amount of carbs you're eating, because carbs are not a necessary source for energy. Your body can make carbs. Your body does make carbs, and carbs just cause. I would. You can argue back and forth that carbs don't make you fat. The excess calories do. Yes, that is true. If you are eating an all carb diet, but you're not exceeding your calories, you will not get fat. That is true. But if you are trying to get the optimal physique, which is what we're all trying to do, then carbs are the one you want to avoid. All right, guys, that is what I have for you. I hope you understood that. I hope I didn't ramble too much. I hope you learned something from it. If you have any questions, again, feel free to ask me. That's what I'm here for. I'm out, guys. Y'all have a great day.